Steroids have damaged the game of baseball in a way that we'll probably never know the true extent of. But at the same time, are the players truly responsible for their own actions? Should their records be erased from the history books, or should they even be allowed into the Hall of Fame? These topics and more will be discussed on today's Angel Dodger. You take steroids and you're caught, 50 games for the first offense, 100 games for the second offense, and a lifetime ban for the third offense. Do you feel like these punishments are stiff enough?
I don't think so, because with the 50 game, for example, if you cheat and you get 50 game suspension, throughout the period that you did cheat, your stats look better at that point, and then the 50 games come and go, and you're right back on your team, you can continue playing. And then usually it ends up paying off for the contract the next year. So
what would you suggest the suspension level should be? Because I'm thinking of like maybe a full season for the first offense and a lifetime ban for the second offense. I mean, I understand the 3-strike rule, but there needs to be some kind of
3 strikes keeping in the vein of baseball.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like there needs to be some kind of deterrent, and I don't know if three times is enough.
I don't think the current system has a big enough deterrent on it. For the current players, I would say that, and that I mean like the veterans, I think it has to be. I think I agree with you. One time offense, you're out for a season. Second time, you're done. Third time, you pay. you give MLB the money because fuck you. I think for rookies, it should be even stronger consequences on that, because they're the new face of baseball. And if they come in cheating, it's going to continue the cycle. I think that rookies should be held more accountable than anyone else at this point. And I think if they're caught as a rookie first season, done.
For the people who we know have done steroids, like going back to Melky Cabrera and Ryan Braun, for example, what do you say about their record? Should they still be in the history books? Should they be erased, or?
I wouldn't erase their records at all. Asterisk, I think, is the right way to go. Because A-Rod, for example, if you look at when he was on steroids, his numbers don't change too often. They're pretty consistent all the way through. Mm-hmm. We don't know if he's on steroids his whole career. We really don't know. Mm-hmm. But they stayed fairly consistent. So if he never took steroids, he probably would have been a Hall of Fame player regardless. So I don't think you can completely ignore what these players have accomplished in their careers. I just think it's tainted. You have to have the little asterisk up there, because who knows?
Do you think that he was guilty?
He probably did.
Clemens?
I read something recently that apparently it wasn't true. That one's more up in the air for me.
What about the fact that he was able to pitch as if he was in the prime of his career in his 40s and looked significantly bigger than he did when he was in the 80s with the Red Sox at that point, which is what you would look like if you were on steroids.
Hardcore motivation.
Hardcore motivation.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it came out that he was on steroids. You know, that was confirmed. And then years after his career already ended, I think this newspaper came out. I want to say like 3-4 years ago now. I saw it. It was a Daily News printout newspaper, and it was like on the headline it said Clemens not guilty, and it was this whole thing about how it never happened. So I don't know. It's once again muddy.
Okay. A-Rod.
Well.
All right.
Right guard. Yeah, this new biogenesis scandal says that he was on the Yankees when he took this. I personally don't buy the latest one. Saying, oh, A-Rod was guilty is an really easy target. When A-Rod was going for his court hearing, Bud Selig did not attend. Bud Selig was personally going against A-Rod. It was a personal attack on A-Rod, and he did not show up. He said, I have to be there. And if you are personally taking someone to court and you don't have to show up, why not?
For the sake of like a fan and the gut instinct, the guy's done it before, he's being accused again, it just doesn't add up. And I'm not saying that you have a bias because you have it.
I want to make that very clear. As a Yankee fan, this has nothing to do with A-Rod being a Yankee. Solarte's been a much better third baseman than A-Rod's been in the last 5 years. I mean, and he's a rookie. I'm not saying this as a Yankee fan. I'm saying it as I saw some injustice in this case as a whole. A-Rod was guilty in the past. There's not a question about that. He fucked up his career. No question about that. But this time doesn't add up to me.
Somebody's always going to try to get an advantage in this game. Do you have faith in it? Will you ever think that it's ever going to be truly clean? At least from the steroid standpoint?
Yeah, from a steroid standpoint, I think it will clean up. Will it ever be truly clean? No. I think there should be some reevaluations going on in baseball. I think there'll always be something, but I do have faith that the steroid will be cleaned up. And there's actually an article I read recently on the Daily News that MLB has proposed. I'm not sure on the update if it's been passed yet, but they proposed this, that they're redefining what caught on steroids means. The first time you're caught, instead of 50 games, is now 80 games. The second time you're caught is a full season, no longer 100 games, and the third is still lifetime. They also said that no matter what time you take steroids, you can take steroids in April and get caught 50 games, come back a month later, 2 months later.
Yeah.
And then you can no longer play in the postseason. You know, that's a big deal. And if you say you can't play that anymore, that would deter me from steroids, honestly.
So I don't think that, like you said, I don't think the game's ever truly going to be cleaned up, but I hope that at least when we get older and our children are watching the game, that the steroid scandal will be far in the past, and even if something else will come up, something else will come up, but I mean, we'll deal with it then. Anyways, I am Angel Dodger, and I will see you next time.
Strike!